Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the webcast. Today we are here for the Rhea wet dress, and there won't be a major amount of talking today, but we are going to be talking a little bit about what's going to happen in terms of what we're doing on the launches with Rhea. So today is basically a test to see that Rhea can fly successfully for one, and two, fuel itself. We've changed the fueling system, so it's a more progressive fueling system now instead of a really immediate fueling, because the old fueling would cause some pressure buildups that would potentially pop the rocket.
Yes, hello. Since Quasi was so rude not to introduce me, I'm also here co-commentating today. So, coming up shortly on the next major event on the timeline will be the fueling start. We can expect that at around 41 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe, where we start off with the IAP.002-2, and then about 40 minutes we start with IAP.002 methane, and then Rhea LOX and Rhea methane about a minute. They're separated about a minute apart.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a rather long process, but this is a good thing. We get to test the rocket, make sure it works, and ensure that everything goes as normal.
Now, the few things you can see on the pad here, you see that arm that is connected to Rhea, not the two arms, the singular arm. That is the Rhea quick disconnect. That is actually how we supply the propellant to the vehicle.
LD is go for prop load.
You can see that little arm there
Preparing liquid oxygen load.
with the white lines. That is actually where the oxygen and the methane go into the vehicle. There's a little port on the vehicle where it starts loading.
Yeah, cool. So, aviation, let's hear a bit about what's happening in terms of Rhea launches and launches beyond these Rhea missions. Let's see when we're going to the moon, when we plan to land humans there as well with our new software and Daphnis and everything like that.
IAP this loading sequence start.
Yes. Okay. So, upcoming in the next few days, maybe tomorrow even, we might be attempting a launch of Rhea. Now, the weather isn't looking so good tomorrow, so it's a 50-50 chance of violation at this time, but we may attempt it tomorrow if we feel we could get off. Other than that, that'll be the next flight of Rhea. Our target for the next flight of Rhea will be a soft splashdown in the ocean again. We want to repeat that, as last time things didn't go so well to plan. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Quasi, that we were not intending to land only 30 kilometers from the launch site?
Yes, that was true.
Starting liquid
We
methane
didn't
fueling.
really try to do that, so unfortunately, yes.
That will be our future goal. Well, hopefully a lot closer than 30 kilometers. About 2 meters deviation is what we are hoping for. But that was not the target. However, we still did successfully perform a controlled reentry and a controlled belly flop. This flight we are basically completely redoing our targeting guidance, as that was not nominal at all.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit off, and we want to make sure that next time it doesn't do that, because that is a fatal mistake and can cost lives of people. Thankfully, no one was injured, but it can be a big issue if we don't fix that.
Yes.
Preparing loading sequences for Rhea.
The next flight we are going orbital. We may be deploying a first SCOM V6 satellite. It'll only be one, just to see how they perform before we can launch maybe 10 or 15 at a time. So we do expect to be doing that. We do expect to be going orbital. We will see a deorbit burn after the orbit has been achieved and the satellite has been deployed, and then we are going to basically
Rhea LOX loading sequence start.
and try to land at the target, which is in the ocean. The flight after that, however, we will be attempting a landing back at the landing pad if next flight goes well and we are on target. So, some very exciting stuff to be coming shortly.
Preparing Rhea for liquid methane.
Also new since we have last spoke, Quasi is our new CTO. Yes, we
Starting Rhea methane loading.
Yeah, I'm excited to be. Apologies. Yeah, I'm excited to be the new CEO, or CTO. Apologies, for Saturn Aerospace, and I'm in charge of all the technicalities and background work of the company, such as launch schedules, whatnot, and the website. So all of that is down to me now, and I'm glad to be back, helping the team.
Yes. He just was like, oh, I can't give up on Saturn. It is one of my favorite things ever, and he decided to come back for us yet again.
Yeah, no comment. In other news, we have, as you may know, the MNSWT is not going to be used as much for the moon missions now, as it's a bit overkill for that, as we discussed in the latest Saturn Cast video, which is in our YouTube. If you want to go watch Saturn Cast, feel free.
We are sealing, fueling continuously nominal.
Hold.
Seems we have a small hold in the countdown. We're going to investigate an issue that we're having with the vehicle. This is why we test it, of course, because if we had this on launch day and the launch window was instantaneous, this would be fatal. So we're making sure that the rocket is working, and holding is permitted during these wet dresses.
Attention all present, countdown 1. We will recycle the count at 41:45 on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Count has resumed.
And it looks like we're out of that hold. There's some frost on the vehicle now. It looks like there was an issue with the fueling, but that is now fixed, and we're well on our way to being launching in a few. Well, I say a few minutes, in about an hour from now. Apologies to those who have a tight schedule, but this is just unfortunately how things go in Saturn
We
Aerospace.
will not be launching. Sorry to get your hopes up. We will not be launching.
Apologies, yeah.
Now, as we finished that hold there, you saw a little vent on the side of the tower. Some of you may be wondering, what is that vent? So, that vent is there to vent the propellant lines for any excess gases. So when we hold, we stop the propellant sometimes during holds we continue throwing propellants. It really depends on a number of factors, but when the vent is, you're getting rid of all the gases in the line that could not be good, you know?
Propellant seeing continuously nominal.
We're getting a question by you, and who is Mark? We're not too sure about that one. I've never met Mark, to be honest. I don't know who Mark is. I'm sure he's a great guy, though.
Now, on the side of the vehicle there, you can maybe slightly see a bit of that white frost-looking stuff. That's because it is frost. So, the propellants we chill down to very cold temperatures, about negative 200 Kelvin. No, sorry. Negative 200 Celsius. So
Can I just stop you there? Who's Kelvin?
we chill them down to about negative 200 Celsius, which is very cold, and outside the air is about like 20 degrees or so. So, 20 degrees Celsius. So you have like the temperature. So when it hits the
It was a genuine question. I don't know who Kelvin is.
Apologies there. So when it hits the tank, it meets that warm air and condensates and freezes over into that propellant there, as you can see on the side of the vehicle. Now, it will grow as the count progresses.
Well, I'd hope so. It's kind of original fuel, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is, if you're just tuning in, we are here today to test Rhea on its first or second launch. And it's going to be an interesting one. It's looking like it's going to be quite fun. Hopefully all goes well on this launch. Hopefully there's no oopsies or anything. But in the meantime, Aviation, please talk about something, because I'm trying to eat some spicy noodles.
Yes. Like we said, the commentary will be a bit spotty at places, as there is 40 minutes to go, and that is a lot of commentary, a lot of me yapping about lots of things. Quite frankly, it is quite long and durable.
Also, just a question for everyone in the chat. What would you think about having on our streams for longer countdowns? Obviously, we have a small little corner of the stream being like some gameplay, so someone's playing KSP or something, and you get to see that to keep your attention span high, and so that you're not just watching a rocket do nothing for 40 minutes. What do you guys think?
Yes, I think that would be great, like some Subway Surfers or something, or maybe Minecraft even. I know we have a couple Minecraft fans out there. Yes, that would be rather interesting to keep the audience preoccupied. Of course, we do love doing the longer countdowns, as it's really fun to see the vehicle slowly filling up.
I mean, I think it loses its novelty after about a minute. Pretty boring.
Well, that's your invalid opinion, so...
I saw a message in the chat. We're not going to be doing Epstein edits, I'm afraid. I know there is not a flight after the wet dress today. Yeah.
Now, some exciting news. We have recently had our Rhea patch redesigned, and it looks a lot better now. Well, redesigned by our great artist April. Here it is on screen. There you have it. So that is our new Rhea patch. It is much better, much cleaner, and much nicer than the old one. You can see that on the top of the vehicle. Well, currently you can't because it's kind of hard to see, but trust me, it is there. I was the one who applied it, actually. So, yeah. So, Quasi, can you tell me about who anything is?
I'm not telling you about anything because I
balloon
unfortunately
release?
am eating. So evil Andadingus can stay at home for now.
What about Ryan Butler? Now, this propeller loading time is quite lengthy. I'm gonna download some Subway Surfers to keep you all engaged.
We're seeing fueling still continuously nominal.
I've got an update on the Subway Surfers. It is now downloading, so give me a couple minutes there. Give me about 2 minutes here.
B-minus 2 minutes to Subway Surfers.
Good mission control callouts right now.
Quite frankly, they're the best mission control outs.
Downloading of the Subway Surfers edits is nominal.
Carrier pigeon has hit the weather balloon. Subway surfers has been lost.
Mr. Quasi, how are those hot, spicy noodles going?
They are bussing.
It's great
I
to
really
hear.
do like them.
Corny comments from commentators, nominal. Close to fully fueled.
Second carrier pigeon has been released.
Subway Surfer successful.
Now, I hope you all stay very engaged in this webcast. Now we have got something to soothe your minds. Now we are just T-minus 30 minutes away from the T0. As you can see, that frost is rising on those tanks there. Now, I believe, since we could do it in 10 minutes, we might increase it to about 20 minutes, so it's not as long. But that will all depend on a number
Tank
of
levels
factors.
nominal.
Yeah, so it's very exciting here, so any feedback is greatly appreciated. Surely, Mr. Quasi, you have finished with those busted noodles.
I have, and now my nose is running. Those noodles were good. But anyway, we're back. We have Subway Surfers. Mission Control calling out that we've got good acquisition of Subway Surfers feed and everything looking good. And we can hear the feedback of the stream. Over the nets, I'm hearing a lot of yapping. But today, this is going to be a great test. The vehicle fueling nominally, and everything going well with our 29 minutes till the ignition. And yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Oh my god, is that Kermit walking to the mission control room? Maybe it is. Can we get rid of Kermit, hello?
Oh, I don't see Kermit.
Who invited this guy?
Already!
Oh my god, it is Kermit!
Holy Kermit has arrived.
Okay, guys, seems like Kermit's joined the room. Hey everyone, my name's Kermit. I'm a mission controller here at Saturn Aerospace. Now I'm gonna be replacing Quasi because he doesn't do his job.
Yeah, he's a bit of a guy who just eats noodles. You know?
I'm kind of fixed on these Subway Surfers, to be honest.
We're
Does it
saying
soothe
nominal
your
on
mind?
Kermit. Nominal on Kermit.
It seems like this stream has gone really downhill, guys. We're just messing around now. I'm hearing the mission controllers got told off. That's not good.
They were being rather mischievous, if I do say so myself. It's not good. They were being rather mischievous, if I do say so myself. Now, yes, I do think that we will not be continuing with T-minus 40-minute webcasts. We will probably go down to about T-minus 20, to be honest, as that seems a lot more reasonable. Would you agree, Kermit?
I think so. They wouldn't have to do this stupid job.
Hey, it's not that bad. Hey.
Hey, Marcus here.
The propellant is wrong. Yeah, dog.
Hello everybody, it's Marcus here with you here. Today we've got a brilliant countdown. No, I'm joking. As we commence these few minutes, it seems that the countdown is extremely slow. It seems like every second going by is like 10 seconds, so maybe we could clarify to a point why that's happening, because, I mean, to be honest, this is a bit unwatchable. It's going to take about an hour from now to get the countdown done, so maybe let's, ramp things up a bit and increase those seconds, if you know what I mean.
And there we go. We have now engaged double time, as they say.
That seems a bit better, so very good.
Bye, Kermit. It appears he is leaving the building. Unfortunately, we did get news that the carrier pigeon run of the original Subway Surfers has died. Can we get an F in chat, please? Now, we do have some good flow on the vehicle here. Yeah, dog is flowing.
I think this stream has turned into a challenge on how many things we can do in terms of goofing around on a single stream, and I think we may have broken our all-time record, which we didn't have before, to be honest. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most goofed around stream of Saturn Aerospace. It's great to have you. If you want to learn more about Saturn Aerospace, please feel free to visit our website, saturnaero.space. It's live. We're updating it. We'll add the vehicle section very soon. We just need a few more images. And we have some exciting announcements for the second Saturn Cast episode in terms of our KSP game itself. So potentially a new announcement coming regarding that. But we're not going to give specific details just yet. But all I can say is we've done it before. Not really the same, but before 2023 we did this. Let's just say that. So there's OGs out there who have no life like the rest of us who have been playing KSP for the last 6 years. You'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there you go.
Now, today on the pad we have IAP.002-2, which is exposed, so that was actually cloned on the first part of RHE.005-0, the debut, as IAP.1 was lost during a hop. Isn't that right, Mr. Rob?
I believe it was. I have no clue, to be honest.
And what about that Rhea ship that was meant to do a static fire but left the pad after being warned by mission controls that that would exactly happen?
Well, I mean, I'm not too sure. I can't pinpoint that one, to be honest.
We have got requests to turn off Subway Surfers, so unfortunately it will be going away now.
Negative.
Bye-bye, Subway Surfers.
Negative, negative.
Positive, actually. Actually, the vehicle fueling is nominal. It does seem a bit interesting there that the fuels are not exactly good, because you can see there on the first stage that the frost should be about nearly halfway now, maybe a little bit less than halfway, but it does not appear to be anywhere near that. So let's ask our mission controllers what is happening about that. Would they like to comment on that?
Affirmative. We are seeing a not optimal fuel receiving right now. We're just trying to fix that up. It is going to take some time, but we have a lot of time to waste because our commentators are horrible at commentating.
Reportedly, a staff member has pooped in fuel tanks, so maybe that has something to do with it.
No, I do not believe we have been pooping in the fuel tanks. I believe it could be due to the drinking of the rocket.
Cross is turning brown.
Which is a common occurrence here, as we do have a lot of pirates who, for some reason, love to drink our rocket fuel. Please do not do that, as some adverse side effects could be becoming a hydrogen bomb. I don't think you want that, do you, Quasi?
I wouldn't
Unfortunately,
mind
this is
it, to
false.
be quite honest. However, I'm not sure what you mean hydrogen bomb. This rocket's powered by methane, so get your facts right.
Fine, a
and
helium
go back
bomb.
to
Is that
school.
better? Because we use helium to cool down the propellants. Is that better?
Wouldn't it be mainly methane?
No, because we use... Actually, no, we use nitrogen to cool down the thingies. Whatever, just whatever.
Yeah, who would drink the methane?
Okay.
Mission controllers are kind of a bum right now.
Now here at PowerPoint Aerospace, you can see about 1 frame every year.
Pumps are currently at 110% power.
Now, of course, our pumps can go a lot more than 110% of the target fuel, right? Because, of course, we could fuel it in 10 minutes like we used to, but now we are at about something, We are at probably about a quarter of what we could do. So, yeah. So we've raised the power.
110% is a quarter of what we can do, then I think we're going to explode the entire Kennedy Space Center. Like, that is a lot of power.
Given that we did fuel it in 10 minutes, right? We've scaled those pumps back significantly. So you can see that we have, and now we're increasing them slightly. Of course, increasing them more than that could cause issues, as we've prepared the software for that, and if it had a giant influx of propellant, it might cause some errors that we don't want to. So we would have to recycle. At this time, it does look like we probably will not be launching tomorrow. We probably will want to be redoing this test as it has gone horribly wrong.
Oh,
so far.
please no, please no. I'm unfortunately, as the CTO, I will not sit here for another 40 minutes.
It will not be 40 minutes. We will be readjusting things, so it could be 20 minutes
Thank
maximum.
God.
And
Well,
it
there
would
you
be
go,
a
ladies and gentlemen.
real 20 minutes.
Hopefully.
Brand appetite tank pressures are nominal.
Great commentary here from the lead commentator.
I mean, personally, there's not much to talk about, I'm afraid. This is pretty standard routine at Saturn, the tests and whatnot. So there really isn't much to talk about. I mean, we could speak about deafness potentially, if you guys are interested in that. We'd be happy to discuss some deafness news and when that's going to launch. So, well, apparently I'm not good enough at my job, so I'm going to step down from.
This is the initial go no go poll. Once again, the main objective for today's test is a 33 engine static fire of IAP.002. Or
Go.
RIC.
Ran, I have just controllers go.
RS.
Go.
Copy. LD is go to continue with the count.
And I'm going to be stepping down from the commentary for now, so I'll let Bob, our mission controller, step in for me.
Hello, Bob. Welcome to the commentary box. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I know. It's been a while since I've had this job. I mean, mission control isn't the funnest thing anymore, especially now that we have to wait 45 minutes without subway surfers. I mean, this is a pretty cool rocket, obviously. Come on, like, no one else has made this.
I would say the
not
coolest.
in our universe.
I would say the coolest.
I'd actually argue otherwise. I'd say Daphnis is better, but you didn't.
Daphnis is overglazed. Overglazed. It is the most overglazed.
Aviation, stand down.
Nuh-uh.
So, we're just gonna static fire this thing, right? Static fires, very important because we want to know if the rocket could launch without launching it, right? So, static fire is pretty standard procedure. We're not doing a lot, like not a lot new people, agencies, companies all around the world, they've done static fires. So this isn't something special that we're doing. But it is interesting because obviously this rocket that we have here isn't fully ready, right? This is why we're doing these tests before we can actually make this a true commercial rocket that people will trust their payloads with. So, Aviation, got any comment? Lively commentary.
Yes. We will be static firing this. Right now I'm hearing that we will hold at T-minus 1 minute 30 for some final checkouts before continuing to that static fire. As there are some few
Water balloon
issues.
release.
There are some few issues that we are currently detecting on the countdown.
Aviation, do we got like any news that we want to share or anything?
Not right now.
Alright, then I'll just make up some fake news. So, Daphnis is actually worse than Rhea.
No, this is the realest news we have ever heard.
Fakest news, actually.
What is so good about Daphnis? Bob, tell me what is so good about
it. It looks
Daphnis?
Cooler, and it's white.
Rhea is right.
Silver is okay.
Rhea is white. Look,
I'm gonna
right.
safety check on commentator.
Can we?
Oh, I remember back when I was a mission controller, I used to laugh at the commentators, but now that I have this power, I feel way better than all mission controllers. I am better than all mission controllers, actually. So, what were we saying?
Get security down to the commentation box.
So, Aviation, continue on why you're wrong.
Entering final stages feeling.
Rhea literally gets caught by the tower. Well, not Rhea. Rhea could, maybe, potentially in the future, not confirmed at this time. But IAP.002 gets caught by the tower. How is that not cooler than it landing on a drone ship?
You have a good point, but, like, think.
What?
Do you really want to spend the millions and millions and millions of dollars for that big tower? Especially if
we
we're
already
gonna try
have.
and expand
we
our
already have spent
operations. We're gonna have to build
$millions.
multiple of them, right?
Right?
Especially
Would you-
when we're doing
okay,
like
okay.
monthly Mars missions. So just
Okay,
lining it back into ship is easier.
okay.
Come on, bro.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt, right? But you're excluding that we need to buy a new second stage every time for Daphnis, which costs millions and millions each launch. Whereas Rhea will be fully reusable, where we can use the first stage
Wait,
and
I
the
have an
second
idea.
stage.
What if we take Rhea and then we just put Daphnis at the bottom?
IAP is just cooler than Daphnis.
No, it's not.
33 is better
apparently
than
worse.
7. 33 is better than 7. 33 of those beautiful AMP engines there.
Just tell me, how much thrust do one of those engines produce?
About 350 tons.
Now think, what about one of our big engines, of the big engines?
They're also about 350
good.
tons. They're similar performance.
So,
actually.
okay,
And it's a lot
If-
bigger. Ant is so much better than whatever Daphnis is called. I forget what the Daphnis is called. Could we get a check for what the Daphnis engine is called real quick? That
you're gonna give me the information, right? You're gonna tell me what it's called. Alright, so we just got a warning from the big boss that we need to stop arguing. So, let's talk more about Rhea itself, because I don't think people are very interested in the better rocket. So, let's think individually. Like, what are the parts of Rhea? We have Rhea, of course, and then we have the grid fins and the engines. The grid fins are really interesting. We spent a lot of time and money researching grid fins, like simple pieces of carbon that literally just direct you down to the ground, right? Because
Recovery
obviously,
site status is green.
yes.
that's green.
No, now we did learn a lot about those grid fins from Phoebe, didn't we, Bob?
Yeah.
As they are
I mean,
quite similar. They're just quite a lot bigger than Phoebe. Each one of those is about the diameter of Phoebe, I think.
Really? Like a whole diameter.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, think viewers, imagine a whole Phoebe stage, right? And just 4 of them surrounding IAP.002. Like, they are massive. So it obviously makes sense why we spent so much
balloon
money.
release.
Yeah, like Bob was saying, IAP is such a massive vehicle. It is the most massive vehicle we have ever made.
Now, if you pay closer attention to the grid fins, you'll realize that at the bottom, they're actually pointed. And that's obviously for aerodynamics, right? Because if you think of a knife can slice through the air because it's sharp at the top. But when you have a whole bunch of flat, like T sections connecting to each other, or X sections actually, you'll realize there's a lot like more stress on the union points. So making them spikier and more aerodynamic actually benefits because it prevents things from breaking. And remember, we're trying to keep the grid fins as light as possible while allowing them to actually direct IAP.002 down to the ground. So
they're a titanium alloy. It is very strong and quite light for its strength, actually. It also has high temperature resistance. As if you go look at our old stream, you could see how hot they get during that dynamic fade, as we are hitting the atmosphere at about 3 times the speed of sound, which is really, really, really fast. So it creates quite a lot of heat, but those grid fins also do a lot more than just guide it. They help slow it down significantly. Without them, we would need a much bigger landing burn, which would use a lot more fuel. But those grid fins really help slow the vehicle down, as it is a lot of dynamic effects. Hey, Bob.
you see, this is why us commentators are better than mission controllers, because we're actually smart and educated, right? No? Okay. Okay. I'll stop.
Right, sorry.
F engine control.
OR2 LD.
This is LD.
So we just passed 7 minutes.
LD, we're experiencing a few issues on our side. Some of the data links have actually been lost, so we're just going to see if we can reboot the system. And if not, we'll have to go into a hold.
Copy.
All right, looks like the mission controllers are in a little bit of a scurry right now.
We've been kicked off of some of those systems of our aging ESCOM, as we use ESCOM for all our communications. However, our satellites are getting older and older and older. That is why we are creating ESCOM V6, which should be launching soon enough, which will replace our aging constellation. So, a few of them are starting to deorbit now, which is not good, obviously. Now, it does look like, in the end, we will become fully fueled by the end of this countdown.
Awesome. Let's talk. Ooh, new camera angle. Oh, this is a perfect time. Let's talk about those flaps that are actually on Rhea. So, as we know, Rhea has a whole bunch of heat tiles, right? And the goal of the heat tiles is obviously to protect the inside from the outside. When you are coming down from orbital velocity, which I believe is, what is it, 9 kilometers a second? No, that's delta V. Well, it's really, really fast, like extremely fast, multiple Machs
LD,
fast.
this is OR.
Oh, this is LD.
LD, we fixed the issue. However, there is a few sensor issues on the vehicle itself. Nothing we can do because of that. But we will have to send a team out after the test to make sure that those sensors are replaced.
Copy. If you think this issue will trigger an abort, let me know, and I'll call hold.
Roger, I highly doubt it for now, but I'll keep you updated.
Copy.
Now, here is a little camera angle from below. You can see that frost really up there on IAP.002. Here is one of my favorite angles, as you can just see how tall this vehicle is, at about 120, or maybe even 130 meters tall. It is a gigantic vehicle.
Yo, aviation.
Yo.
You know what else is massive? Okay, I'll stop. Okay. I can hear what you were gonna say before you said it. Okay, I thought I'd just cheer things up because mission control, they're really stressed right now. So
Hold.
I think this is my last time as commentator. Oh no.
LD, this
Copy,
is
Candace,
OR. This is a major malfunction on one of the sensors. We have a fuel leak on the OLM itself. It seems like we may be able to continue the count, but with a reduced fuel loading speed. We can try and restart the sensor if you will, and then we might be able to get the feed back to normal, but we might have to just continue this countdown at the current fuel level to prevent any further leaks, if that's okay.
Copy. That sounds a good plan. We will hold off any more propellant. We have enough for a stag fire. Once this stag fire is over, we'll have to send the red team out. This is looking like a plus 2-day delay, so...
Yeah, Roger, I agree. It's not looking amazing. We have the leak in the flame trench. There's actually some fuel pooling around there, so I'll let you know. Well, it's up to you if we continue the count or if we hold.
Copy. Do you know roughly how much fuel is in the flame trench and like what the rate of the leak was?
Probably a couple liters, if I had to guess. Nothing severe, but it has been slowly filling, and we haven't noticed it until now, just due to that sensor restart.
Copy. We'll continue to hold. Perform an early fuel pushback to get them out the lines, and if that doesn't work, we will have to call an abort for today's test.
Okay, Roger, I'll speak to Prop and get that done.
Copy.
And OR to Prop.
Brother R.
Okay, Prop, we'd like you to try and reverse the fuel and take it out of the vehicle, just a tiny bit out of the vehicle. See if that prevents any issues in the line. We just have a bit of fuel leaking somewhere.
I get you. Roger. Can do.
Thank you. And we'll it should take about 10 seconds. Just let me know once you've done it. Thanks.
Or this is LD. Is the leak with the liquid oxygen or liquid methane?
We believe it's liquid oxygen at the moment, LD.
It looks like our spacecraft here is in a precarious situation.
Alright.
Aviation, could we call this like an abort?
Propellant?
Alright, go ahead.
We have rolled back some of the propellant.
Thank you. I'll speak to LD and see what we can do.
So aviation, could we?
LD to OR. Oh, sorry, OR to LD.
OR.
We're clear to continue. The fuel's been taken out of the vehicle. I would say that we're safe. However, there could be some residue fuel that leaks. Nothing that's going to destroy the vehicle, but we might need to clean up after the test.
Copy. We will resume the count, and during our planned 1 minute 30-second hold, I will ask for a status, and you can inform me about any developments of the issue.
Okay, roger. And LD, this is OR. The count resumes on my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Count has resumed. Hold.
We're just holding LD for a second. We noticed another issue. Stand by, it's a small fix.
Rhea and Iapetus control, this is LD. Could you please give a quick health status on both Rhea and Iapetus?
This is Rhea control, aka propellant to LD. Iapetus is nominal. Although we are noticing a tiny liquid oxygen leak on Rhea.
Copy. OR, this is LD. Do you think we should proceed the count? Has the issue been resolved?
Stand by 2 minutes. I'll wait to hear from some of the guys on my sector.
Copy.
LD, this is OR. Resume count on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Count has resumed. We've recycled to 2 minutes, 5 minutes and counting.
Are we safe?
All right, there is
Okay.
a lot to unpack just there, Bob. Let me do this. So
Yeah, that is serious.
it started off with a call from range safety detecting some off-nominal levels on the propellant, who then promptly informed the LD of that. Of course, all our mission controllers are roughly looking over all the data. They are just specialized in their zone. We make them look over all the data to ensure like any things are not missed, you know, because that could be dangerous. It's really just extra safety. Other than that, we are very good. So they did find a small leak in the flame trench, which is not good. That will be... It might create a small explosion during engine ignition, but if they think it is safe to proceed, it's probably such an insignificant amount that that is not any extra pressure event that we could expect. Other than that, the vehicle is quite...
Final water balloon.
is very in a good state at the moment, actually. We should be
OR,
seeing
this is
that...
LD.
Go ahead.
Just for your information, if we were to get kicked out by this issue one more time, that'll put an end to today's testing operations.
Roger, LD. Yeah, we'll let you know if it happens again.
Copy.
So, aviation, one thing that I want to talk about, they're actually not fueling this thing completely. So what does that mean for, like, the actual static fire?
It doesn't change much for the static fire, as we don't actually need the full fuel, because we're targeting about a 30-second static fire here. So, it doesn't really matter, actually, how much fuel is on board the vehicle.
All right,
Past
perfect. Thank
a
you.
certain amount.
So,
Chopsticks
viewers.
are commanded to open.
Okay, that's chopstick command. So, viewers, if you're just joining, really, really late, a whole bunch of issues just occurred to Rhea and IAP.002 over here. So, Mission Control had the effort to troubleshoot and actually solve a couple of problems, but unfortunately, our static fire is no longer fully fueled. So,
At this time, there is no chance we are launching tomorrow. We probably won't even do our witches tomorrow.
Final engine chill on the 33 nth engines for the static fire has begun.
And at this time, it is looking like we will possibly need to destack the vehicles even to do some checkouts on the pads and stuff. So,
Final spaceport alarm has been sounded.
at the earliest, we are looking at another wet dress rehearsal in probably 3 or 4 days, I would say. And then a launch in probably nearly a week, which is not great. It's a little disappointing. But
delays need to be expected, especially in spaceflight.
If it's for safety, there really is no other alternative.
OR2 recovery. Apologies. OR2 range.
Hold.
Range.
Range, this is OR. We're wanting to know if the final spaceport alarm was sounded and if the area is clear, just so that we can ensure the OLM is in the final count state.
Range to OR. Final spaceport alarm has been sounded.
Thank you, LD. We can continue operations.
OR to LD, do you have any updates on the situation you're having over there?
Yeah, we believe the excess fuel has actually boiled off because of the hot temperatures. So there's actually no fuel left in the fuel lines and the fuel trench, or the flame trench. So we believe it's safe to continue.
Copy. Okay, we will resume the count on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Okay, so we're closing into 1 minute. I'd like to talk about boil off. So, liquid oxygen and liquid methane. Let's split that up. Liquid and oxygen. Oxygen is a gas, we breathe it in daily. How is it a liquid? And the reason it's a liquid right now is because it's actually super cooled to very low temperatures, like negative 200, right? So if it's out in positive 20 room temperature, right, it's obviously going to boil off.
Now we should be hearing that final go no go pulse.
Hold. Attention, all on the countdown 1. This is the LD for the final go no go poll. OR.
OR is green.
Rhea and IAP control.
Rain IAP's control is currently red.
Copy. Count is holding.
This is unusual. Usually when you hear a go no poll, go no go pull, you obviously expect everyone to be ready, but sometimes that doesn't happen, especially in these vital moments immediately after an issue. So it makes sense
Yes.
why Rhea and IAP.002 control is holding.
Now we are in that T-minus 40 second.
RHE, this is LD. Could you please inform me on the issue you guys are having?
LD, this is RSC. We are currently seeing a leak of liquid oxygen on the second stage, aka Ray.
And LD, this is OR. We can confirm there's excess fuel being driven uncommanded into the second stage. We're going to have to call off this test completely to identify the issue. It seems.
So close.
Of course.
Copy. Is there any chance you guys could run through the data one more time and just make sure that this is the best course of action?
Yeah, of course, we can have a look.
Yeah, we can run
It
through.
might, as we checked, there was a sensor issue, so it might just be another sensor issue. We'll let you know.
Copy.
Hey, no swearing.
Okay, LD, this is again a sensor issue. We can continue. There is no fuel coming out of the rocket. This seems like a bit of a sensor bug today. It might be due to SCOM. We're not 100% sure. We'll look into it after. But visually, we can't see any fuel coming out on the vehicle, so we're safe to continue.
LD,
Copy,
this is RSC.
RSC, go ahead.
We can confirm it was a sensor issue in the liquid oxygen tank. There is no leakage. RSC is green.
Copy. Just before we resume the count for all operators' information, I believe that the best course of action after today's test is to destack both vehicles, roll them back to the production site, allowing for a full inspection of ground systems. And with that, we'll go resume the count on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Okay. We're closing into 30 seconds right now.
Vehicle fueling has been completed late.
You have 15 seconds.
Confirming engine and tanks are correct pressures for static fire.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abort.
LD, this is OR. This is a critical step. We need to detank the vehicle immediately. And to prop, please begin quick detank. There is some data issues. We want to make sure that this vehicle gets detanked as quick as possible. Can we confirm that the fast detank has been started?
Fast detank has been started.
Thank you very much. This is just precaution so that the sensor issues, even if they are lying, we want to make sure that the vehicle is safe.
Copy. So just to confirm, we were kicked out of the stack fire due to a ground side issue?
I believe so, yeah.
Copy that.
Now there you can see some little almost little engines. That is us detanking the vehicles. We will stay here. You might even be able to see that frost line visibly descending. This is what we call an emergency depressurization, where we vent all the propellant. Normally we would try suck it back into the tanks, but since we are under abnormal circumstances, the quickest way is to vent it and not worry about all the propellant lines, as those might have some damage.
Attention operators on countdown 1. This is going to put an end to today's testing operations vehicles and fast detank. For your information, all operators must remain at their stations until the vehicle is completely detanked or told otherwise by the LD.
And this is our all stations. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. That was good recovery operations.
Yep, we're just going to stay here with us while we detank to hear any more vital information about what potentially may be happening from the mission controllers, as they have all of the data.
Okay, so aviation, I really want to talk to you about something. When we saw the engine cam, right, I noticed that the engine was actually on and then immediately shut off after. What is going on? How did that happen?
So that's what we call an abort scenario. Basically, when the operators are not happy with the thing, it can be triggered manually or it could be triggered by automated systems. I believe this one was triggered by automated systems. I believe we've heard that, but we might hear confirmation a bit later after that when the LD does his debrief. So basically, we just get kicked out and the engine shut down and we enter a safering procedure. This could be due to a number of reasons, like some engine sensors gone, or pressures on the OLM, or fueling lines. We do need to wait for confirmation as to what happened. But yeah, so the abort shuts down all the engines in a safe manner to avoid any potential further issues that could come. Like, we don't want to explode, do we?
That's true. Remember, viewers, rockets are just controlled bombs, so this is obviously a very big issue, especially with leaks
RIC,
and
this
stuff,
is
right?
LD. Could you please give a quick health check on the engines?
LD, this is RIC. We are currently looking at the engines. We will come back within 15 seconds.
Copy.
Okay, looks like they're just running diagnostics on the engines.
LD, this is RIC. Currently, all 33 nth engines are nominal.
Copy that.
You can see that frost line there descending quite quickly, of course. It does take a little while for us to depressurize the vehicle, as it is a rather slow process. Because think about it, it's about 5,000 tons of propellant on board. You can't just get rid of that instantly. So we need to do it in a safe way, where it doesn't just create a giant methane or oxygen cloud that could easily detonate. So we do it somewhat slowly, but still rather rapidly, to ensure that we don't have any unplanned detonations. As even a spark
That is true.
could create a giant fireball.
Or
Now
this is
Yeah.
LD.
Apologies, go ahead.
Now that we have started detanking and fuel is running through the ground lines, have you guys noticed that issue coming back? I'm curious on the nature of the issue.
Yeah, we've seen the issue. There is actually some issue. We looked through the CCTV up and down the OLM, and we can actually see there's multiple holes in the rear QD, and it seems like during the count, the fuel got fed back accidentally, or there was an issue with the fuel. It got sent back through the line as it was pumping out. A pressure difference caused a big sort of a small explosion, and there's now holes in the QD fuel lines. As well as that, there's likely severe damage on the inside of the ship. I would continue detank, but we are going to need to look completely over the ship. There could be some holes in the exterior.
RIC
We're
to
not quite
LD.
sure.
RIC, go ahead.
We are seeing a COPV closing in on its maximum rated pressure. We are keeping an eye on the situation. We will let you know if it gets closer or it's pretty urgent, but we're keeping an eye on it. We'll let you know if anything continues to go downhill.
Copy. If the COPV gets too close to its failing pressure, just completely depress the entire COPV system.
Oh, dearie me. This is a lot of issues popping up now.
Or this is LD.
Oh, I'll go ahead.
With this issue, I think our best course of action is continue normal detanking our reactors, but do not detank Rhea. We will just let the fuel naturally boil off.
Okay, Roger, we'll close the fuel lines on that and make sure that's not detanking. We're going to also roll in with procedure 17.6. This procedure will help us basically recover the vehicle in a safe way. It includes boil off and whatnot. Another thing, I just want to ensure that all stations have green on their status. So LD.
Copy. This is another green go poll. RIC.
RIC is reporting green, though we are keeping an eye on the COP issue. As stated, it is still around the same pressure.
Copy. Range Safety Officer.
Range is green.
And OR.
And OR is red at this time. So yeah, thank you for that. It's seeming like we have sensor issues just on our station, something probably to do with the tower. So we will keep an eye out during the IAP.002 detank because there could be an issue there as well. But it seems like the QD on Rhea failed completely and just basically popped.
Copy. One last thing. Keep an eye on the tank pressures, RSE. If the tank pressures get too high on Rhea, the burst discs will pop to safely depressurize the vehicle. If that happens, we will have to retire the ship for an extended period of time.
Okay.
Copy.
That is a lot.
As you can see here on the camera, that propellant line is rapidly descending as we are detanking. Of course, it is about
RIC, if the
minute or
burst
so
disc
delayed.
were to pop, please let me know over the net.
Copy that, LD.
If you can see it developing quite rapidly. However, it is a bit delayed as it does not just instantly evaporate. The temperatures do need to warm up a bit for that to melt. So it is about a minute or so behind, so the propellant level is actually a bit lower than that.
That is true. Now, something I want to talk about, if you paid close attention to what they were saying, I think, what was it? It was, I think, range? I don't remember, but they were talking about procedure 17.6. So, in situations like this, the Saturn Aerospace team is obviously prepared. We know what we're going to do. We know when we're going to do it, why we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. And that's because this, as I just said, rockets are controlled bombs. So we want to make sure that nothing goes wrong at all, especially in a populated area down here in our state.
Range Safety Officer, this is LD.
Range Safety Officer.
Could you please inform the Federal Aviation Administration about our current situation? We might have to keep the airspace closed for a longer period of time, just in case of a rapid unscheduled disassembly.
Copy.
RIC to LD.
RC, go ahead.
We are seeing that multiple COPVs are similar in status to the one they are overpressurizing. We are asking permission to completely just depress the COPV system.
Copy, you have approval for that procedure.
RIC, we are depressurizing the COPV system.
Okay, so that also proves my point. They just got in contact with the federal the FIA, right? So rapid unscheduled disassembly is basically long for explosion. So we want to make sure that there's obviously no aircraft, no risk to any civilians if something like that could happen, which it won't. So
now at this point, wouldn't be much of an explosion, as we don't have much propellant on board apart from the little bit on the ship. However, if that were to explode, it would probably still do extensive damage.
that is true. Now, if I remember correctly, what they're planning to do is to destack the whole vehicle and inspect everything part by part, which is really smart on their half, right? I am obviously not qualified in any of that, so now that I stop and think about why they would destack, it all makes sense. So
And OR can confirm all fuel lines have been shut down. Fueling is detanking is complete, and no further issues. have developed, while the Rhea is still containing a little bit of fuel. Everything looks good on that.
Copy. With that, I'm going to go ahead and do my debrief. So during today's countdown, we've noticed multiple issues. I believe our best course of action is to destack these two vehicles, roll them back to the production site, and I say for this flight we completely replace both the ship and booster. So we should stack fire the next ship, get a new booster out here. We should use them to proceed with this flight, and these two vehicles should be retired for a decent amount of time to allow thorough inspections.
Oh, dearie
Okay.
me. That is quite a significant delay to this program, as we will be needing to static fire the next ship. That is not good.
I mean, good news is there's no fuel in the thing, so. That was
RSC
really
confirming
scary.
the COPV system has been completely depressurized.
Copy. RR, could you please inform me when all fuel from Rhea has filed off so I can give the vehicle as the safe status?
Yeah, it's going to take another 20 odd minutes, but we can continue for now.
Okay, so it turns out I was wrong there. There is some fuel inside, but they need to wait for it to boil off.
So I do think we will start wrapping it up here unless anything more interesting happens, which I don't think it will, as it was now just a waiting game, to be honest. I do think I would like to know how those CRPVs are doing.
And I think this is probably the funnest stream that I've had in a while.
RSC, this is LD.
RSC confirmed.
Could you please inform the ship team that I think the best course of action for this ship will be completely replace all composite overwrap pressure vessels?
Copy that.
So I did hear that we did depressurize those COPVs, which is a good thing here. Now I will be wrapping it up. I want to thank Bob for joining us here on the commentary.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure having you here. We have learned so much about the Saturn Aerospace.
I mean, this was also a really fun experience for me.
Yeah, this was a lot of issues here. Unfortunately, it does look like we will not be flying anytime soon, or even doing another wet dress soon. So, good luck to the vehicle team. I hope everything goes well and we don't have any more issues. But, I've been Aviation, the COO here at Saturn Aerospace. I've greatly been enjoying my time on this stream. We thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.